Hey guys, my name is Steve. This is WilmerWoodWorks. Thanks for tuning in today. On this channel, I do laser engraving tutorials, woodworking, and pretty much everything in between. This video, I'm going to show you how to, where did I put it? Here it is. How to make this cute little quick St. Patrick's Day sign. It's couple layers, so we're looking at 3 layers and a neat little stand that it will fit into and sit on. Same concepts that we do use for our Christmas ornaments, and I have a video out there if you haven't caught that yet, but I'll show you in that video. I show you how to do a layered Christmas ornament, and this one we'll just use a couple of different techniques on actually taking a square shape and then cutting these circles out, duplicating some layers, and aligning. The only real 2 elements that I'm using in here is the Shamrock and this Beerstein. I found these images on Canva, and I'll go over to the computer and show you how I grab images, how I manipulate those stock graphics, and then I incorporate them into a larger design. I did embellish this with some paint pens, which are really a great way to put color into your engravings and cuttings. And then I use this CA glue. In the past, I've used the super glue gel, but this super glue, actually with this little applicator tip, has lasted me so much longer than those little gel caps do. And I think it was maybe $10, and I got 2 bottles. I got to even figure out where I put that second bottle because I'm still working off the first bottle. So I was able to make a lot of ornaments, a lot of these designs. So yeah, without further ado, let us get over to the computer and I'll show you how I designed this. Now I will say I am only going to offer this design for free on my website for 1 week. So by Friday, this design will still be on the website, but it will be a paid design. So be sure to get over to the website. If you haven't already, just register. It's free to register. Go on there. I've got some other free designs as well. But for my YouTube members, this design and others are going to be available for free until the end of March. So if you don't know, I do offer YouTube memberships. There's 3 tiers. The first tier is $1.99, and that allows you access to special icons and chats and things like that. The second level, that's the one you want. I mean, the second one is $4.99, and for $4.99 throughout the month, I will put up various designs, and some of the designs that are already on the website, I will give you a coupon code where you can download them for free. I know there's not a lot of designs out there yet, but I will be building this library up, and you will have access to a lot of those free designs. So if you haven't yet, go check that out. I will continue to do some lives on here. I try to do at least 2 lives per month where you can get on and give any questions and answers, any designs or anything like that you're working on. I'm more than happy to help you out with those. All right, enough of that. Let's get over to the computer and start designing this design. Okay, now that we're in LightBurn, the first thing we're going to want to do is start with a square. And for this square, I will make it, let's say, 5 inches by 2 3/4 inch. So a nice little rectangle, and we're simply going to take a circle, holding shift while we drag the circle open, and let's say we'll go to 1.5 inches and see what that looks like. And now I grab the circle in the center and drop it. You'll see once you get close, you'll feel it. It'll lock into that node. So that seems, I don't know, does that seem okay? I guess that looks decent. So hitting Command or Control D for duplicate, and then holding shift while we move it will lock it over to that other node. And again, hit Control D, and then one last time, Control D. Okay, so now we have a square with 4 circles. And what we're going to want to do is select the rectangle, and then select one of the circles, because we can only do this one at a time. And then we're going to just quickly hit the Boolean subtract. Now the rectangle is still selected, so we select the circle, and then Boolean subtract, Boolean subtract, Boolean subtract. And that's basically our sign. Now, if you don't like the way that this looks here, I mean, you can stretch and move it any way that you want, but this is our general shape. I'm going to hit Control Z to get us back to our original shape. So the design is 3 layers. So the very bottom layer is only the outline. The second layer is the first layer of the sign. And then the third layer is just the outline of the sign and the 2 little shamrocks. So what I'll do here is I'm going to do a inward, and you can adjust this however you want. So we'll go 0.125. Okay, so that's a nice step down, and then we'll do this one more time, 0.125. And then that is a very symmetrical kind of step down. So this is our very back layer. This and this will be our frame. And then the very outside and the very inside will be our middle frame. So we only have really 3 elements that we're using in here. And I will import those now. So we'll just go to File, Import, and it's our St. Patrick's Day SVG. I'll move this over to the side. Now you can see some of these did not come over the greatest. But I mean, you could use this picture if you wanted. This is our horseshoe for luck, our shamrock, and then this is our Beerstein. So the rest of these designs really won't work for what we're working on today. So let's start by cleaning up this horseshoe. So sometimes when you export an SVG from Canva, you'll notice that there's all these additional lines that people have used, and we don't need any of that. So I'm just going to get rid of as much as I can to clean up this design. Okay, so now you can also see, so there's orange and pink. I'm going to get rid of all of the pink, and I'm only going to keep the orange. Once I get rid of all of those, we can do a little bit more modifications here. Okay. All right, so I want to join this and this. So I will just do the weld on here, do this and this, and we'll do the weld. And actually, let's just check. I think I may have deleted the wrong one back here, so let's go back. Yeah, so I need to leave this. Here we go. And if you ever make a mistake, you could just do exactly what I did, and that's Control Z to go back. So weld that, and now all I have to do is go back in and again delete all of these. Or what we can do too is we can do File, Select All Shapes in Current Cut Layer, and then we can just move these out and then hit delete. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to put this and all of these circles on the same layer. So I could go around and select every single circle here, or I can do what we've talked about before. It would just go to Edit, and then we select Shapes in Current Cut Layer. So with those selected, I am going to put these on, let's say, layer 3, and we'll put this on layer 3, and then we'll put this on layer 1. Okay, so layer 1 is going to be my cut. Layer 3 will be my engrave. So that is done. I don't really need to do much with the shamrock. That's a very simple shape. We'll just put that on the cut layer. This Beerstein, however, we do need to edit a little bit because I want to engrave this and cut it. So let us ungroup this really quick. Delete that so we'll have a nice big handle to deal with. And I think that should be good the way it is. Okay, but we're going to put this on the cut layer, and then we'll edit, select all shapes in current cut layer. I'm going to put that on 3. And then we'll just select and group this back together. Perfect. Okay, so now we have our 3 elements. Alright guys, before we move any farther, I just want to say how much I appreciate everyone who has subscribed to the channel. I'm glad you're getting some benefit from some of the videos that I'm putting out. I do encourage you that if you do like this type of video, check out some of my other videos. I know they are seasonal-ish kind of videos, but you will get the knowledge you need to make better designs moving forward. I also have a 101 course that will go over every aspect of LightBurn, if that's the software you use. If you do use another software, please let me know in the comments below. I'm always eager to learn other software platforms, something that maybe I should be looking at. But I also want to thank our members. So I do have a few members. I do offer a membership. If you didn't know, you can become a member of the channel, and that will give you additional perks such as free files, exclusive access to one-on-ones, things like that. If you have questions, reach out to me. If you have questions about the memberships, reach out to me. If you have questions about LightBurn, reach out to me. If you have general questions, send me an email, leave a comment below. I'd rather you leave a comment below, because if you have the question and you ask it, I guarantee you there's 20 other people that have the same question. They just don't want to ask it. But if it's something that is too complex or too specialized, send me an email. I put my email on every single video. I do not mind getting emails from subscribers, from viewers. Even if you don't subscribe, that's fine. Send me a note. If you're having difficulty with one problem, I'd like to help if I can. So let's get back to the video. Just want to set out that huge thank you. Let's first resize that down a little bit, and then this, actually here, what we'll do is we'll take both of these and we'll group these together, so now any adjustments that I do are global to that unit. Center this design a little bit and start adding our text. Now you want to stick with a text that will engrave well and also be able to be grouped together. So when I did my tests, first I did a test of thinner font, and it didn't really work out well. I thought I'd engrave it just on the back layer, and that did not give me the results I want. So what we're going to do is we're going to say let the, and we're going to do this in, let's see, you can really choose any font you want. That looks good. Let's choose Arial Round. That's a very easy one. And remember, when you have the text selected, you can go up to horizontal spacing and you can group this really close together. But in order for it all to engrave out, see how close that's got to be? So what I think I'm going to have to do is break this apart into a couple of different elements. So we'll stay right there. We'll hit Control D for duplicate. We'll just move that down a little bit. Choose our font. Let's work on the LE. So let's move that until that touches. And this is marked for welded. Okay. Okay, so LE. So that looks good. The T will be on its own, so we'll duplicate again. Go back to text. Okay, shrink this down a little bit until that's touching on 2 points. So that's okay. We duplicate that again. We got our T alone, so that'll go right there. Duplicate one last time, move this over here, and then this will be our E alone. But if I shrink that down with the T and H, it just becomes too odd. So what I will do is I'm going to align this to the bottom, so everything is aligned to the bottom. Holding shift to make sure it still is aligned to the bottom, I'm going to move this E over until it's just touching, and then select both shapes and then weld those together. So once I weld these together now, I can't make an edit on the text. So with this and this selected, again going to align it to the bottom and just make sure that that's close enough so we can clearly read that. Move that over a little bit. I'm gonna lock this. All right, and we're going to group all these letters, and then I'm going to align these to the center just so the text is centered. Select my grouping and just move it up enough so the L, the T, and the H are all touching. So then it'll give an anchor point for when I weld those together. I'm not going to weld them together yet because I want to add my shenanigans. SHENANIGANS, shenanigans. And we're going to want that all uppercase. And we may have that same issue, but actually I want to change and make this a different font. We can make this a little smaller. And actually let us lock this now too, just so we don't make any mistakes for right now. And remember, when you pull up on this corner, it's going to adjust the height and the width. If you just pull this, it will skew your text, which is fine, but we just don't want to do that yet. Let's go down and check out some other fonts till we get one that resonates with the design. I like that one, but it's a little thin. I wonder if they offer that as a bold option. That looks good. Okay. All right. So we can see that it's touching here, 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 missing the G, and it's missing the S. So let's see if we can take care of that here. Now, if we pull this in, it's going to be too close. So let's pull this back out and we'll just do this on our own. Okay. So that S is caught there. This is caught. That looks good all the way up to the G. And then the G looks good all the way up to the S. Okay. So we'll duplicate this, move it down, get our text tool, and we'll delete everything but the S. This S, we just need to move a little closer here so it catches. Okay, and then we need the text, we need the text tool just to get rid of that S. And actually, we'll go all the way G-A-N. G-A-N, and we have our S. So first, let's select these two, align to the bottom, holding Shift, just enough, and then we will weld these two together, and then these two we're going to align to the bottom, grab the S, holding Shift, back this up till it's just touching, and then we'll weld these two together. Perfect. Okay, so let's see, take this and we'll center align that. We do want this to just touch. Okay, let's unlock this. Actually, we'll bring this down a little bit. I forgot we have to put our shamrocks in there. Okay, so we got skew that a little bit. And then we just need the begin. And this was, what font did we use? Arial Ram. Begin. And this one's going to be easy because we could just anchor all of these letters to the bottom. So we will center align that, and that should be perfect. Okay, so all we have to do now is add our shamrocks. And we just want these to catch on a couple little pieces. And once we do get those to be the right size, we want to move that out of the way so we can cut that again. Remember, we want to flip that because it's going to be the opposite side. And then we duplicate, and then these are the two that we're going to cut out for on top. All right, this is shaping up pretty good. And all we have now is to add our Beerstein, shrink that down quite a bit, bring this guy over, give him a little tilt, but not too much so we don't drop any of that beer. Make him a little bit bigger, duplicate, flip, move a little farther. Perfect. All right, that is essentially our sign. Actually, right now what we want to do is lock this shape in place, and then we will center the horseshoe and then ungroup this. We just want to choose that outside area. We're going to do an outward offset and click OK. All right, so now let's work on the base. So this is going to just be base for our design, and we'll make this, let's say, here, let's flip back to millimeters. Okay, let's go 20 millimeters wide, 75 millimeters long. That's okay. All right, so I'm designing this for 3 millimeter plywood. So I am going to make two bases that this bottom will need to go through. So we want the height of this very bottom piece to be 6 inches. And let's just make the width, let's say 40 inches, or millimeters, excuse me. 6 millimeters, 40 millimeters. And then we'll duplicate this, put that right there. What I want to do is I want to align this So it is centered. Now that it's centered, I'm going to lock this. We're going to center that. Now this will actually be the bottom, but we'll group everything together in a moment. So what I want to do is I just want to make a sweeping little curve. There's multiple ways you could do this, but I'm just going to go the very lazy way, which is to draw a circle. And as you can see, we're going to want this edge of the circle to be right there. And then this edge of the circle, or that corner of the circle, or it's not really a corner, it is an edge. We want that to meet up right there. So we're just going to skew that down till that meets up. Okay, so with that complete, we just Control D for duplicate, move that to this other side, and then just align it so. We want to select our rectangle, select our circle, and then do that Boolean subtract, and it's already selected. And then we just subtract it again, and that gets us our little curve. So with this selected and this selected, actually let's unlock this for right now, select this and select this, weld these two together, and then we will weld the bottom together. There we go. Okay, so this gives our 6mm little push through, and that goes through our stand. Okay, so we're just gonna take the center of this design, and that's going to be the largest on our stand. And then we will do an offset, an inward offset, and you can make this whatever you want. We'll just make this 7mm. Okay, and then the last thing we need to do is make our rectangle for our cutout, and our cutout will be 40mm. Now it's 40mm, but there's going to be a kerf, so there's going to be an additional space for where the laser is. So if you go 40mm, it'll really cut like 40.5. So I'm going to go 39.5 by 2.5, and we'll go 2.75. We'll go 39.75. I want to select this and this, and what we do is we're going to select all three. We're going to hit center and select this and Control D for duplicate, then select that inner one, group those together. So this is our inner, and then select both of these, group them together, and that is our outer. Okay, we are in the home stretch. All we have to do now is merge everything together. We'll just get our little horseshoe out of there and group that back together. Okay, so now let's just start merging everything together. So we'll select this shape and hit the Boolean subtract. And then our shamrock, Boolean subtract. Our other shamrock, Boolean subtract. Our outer layer of our Beerstein. So if this is grouped, you want to ungroup it so you're only getting the outer layer. We'll select that and we'll do the Boolean subtract. And again, on this other Beerstein, you want to make sure that it is ungrouped and you're only getting the outer layer. Do the Boolean subtract. And now we can do our text, Boolean subtract, and then do this center text, Boolean subtract. Okay. So we want to change this layer to the cut layer. Perfect. Now we want to choose the outer layer and the second layer. Now this is going to be our frame, and hit Control D for duplicate. So this is going to be one of our frames, and we want to duplicate that now before we add the bottom and the top to the back layer. All right, so with that done, now we can hit where I'm holding Shift. So what we want to do now is we want to get rid of our center layer. So we'll delete that, and then we will select everything on the inside along with this, Control D. Okay, so this will be another cut layer, and then we can delete that. Weld these two together. Okay, so now all we have to do is select our outer shape and our pillar. We hit merge, and then our outer shape and pillar and top piece, and hit merge. That's basically it. This design is good to send to the laser. The only thing I like to do I like to arrange it. So what I'll do is I'll take a square, and let's go back to inches now, if I can get there. All right, we go back to inches, and I will make this square 11 3/4 by 11 3/4, because I usually engrave all of my materials on 12 by 12 pieces of plywood. So just make sure that before you start moving things, all of your units are grouped together. So that's grouped, that's grouped, that's grouped. These two don't need to be grouped together, but they are together. These are grouped, and this is only one piece. So what I'll do is I will put this piece in this 12 by 12, put this over here. Now that center piece is going to be cut out, so we can put that in there. You can put this here, put that over there, and then if you have any other designs that you need little small pieces cut out of, you can kind of consolidate everything together. Just make sure you don't resize this. You can tilt it and turn it any way you want, just do not grab here and resize it. Okay, so we have our cut layer, and actually this layer here, what I'll do is I'll turn this into a tool path so that, I'll turn this path into a tool path. And then what we have to do is adjust our. So I like to engrave. I've got a 12-watt laser. I'll do 1800 on the speed and 30% on the power. And then for the cut, I like to do 250 or 300 at 100% power with air assist on. So this will basically take about a half a sheet of 12 by 12 3mm ply. Okay, so I will put this design out there for free, like I said, for the week. If you want to download it, you can download it. If you want to make it, please feel free to follow the tutorial and make it or change this saying to whatever your heart's desire. But that is how you make a decent size that has a stand. Okay, now that everything is cut out, all we have to do is use our nifty paint pens over here, which are really an awesome thing. Get rid of this trash for now. Okay, so we got our two bases, got our backer, got our horseshoe for luck, our little shamrocks. Alright, let's start with our horseshoe. So we're golden horseshoe for luck, and for the Irish, always make sure that horseshoe is facing up to catch all that good luck. And these signs are really easy to make, so you can make them for any season, any occasion. I was thinking about maybe making a sign that had our Wi-Fi name and password, maybe also with a QR code so people that visit can scan it, which would be an awesome idea if you host an Airbnb or something like that. Easily give away that Wi-Fi instead of having it written down on a boring piece of paper. Alright, so do our shamrocks here with a nice light green. Should have done a 4-leaf clover for luck, right? Also thinking about doing a leprechaun strap as an upcoming project. But I'm curious what everybody else is interested in. If there's any specific St. Patty's Day project. I also want to try to make that bar game with the little ring and you toss it. That would be a nice game to have for St. Patty's Day. Alright, so now we have our ring here, just a little surround. We'll just make this gray or brown. Brown is kind of boring, so let's just make this the silver color. There we go. Go right there. Now for this one, I think we'll do the dark green. So this was, we have to recut this one, but at least it gives us an idea of where everything is going to go. Leave a little bit for where the glue has got to go. Now you can, for this large amount of material, you can use, they make a dye or a stain. It is a little bit expensive. I think it's about $16 a quart. At Lowe's. They probably have it at Home Depot as well, but I like Lowe's because you get that 5% off. And then they can dye the stain any color you want. And I had mine dyed green and red for Christmas, so that would, I was able to use the red for Valentine's Day. Now I can use the green for St. Patty's Day. But for this one-off, if I was making a whole bunch of signs, I'd probably dye them. But for this one sign, for this example, we'll see how far this pen gets us. Alright, let's get the other piece off the machine. Perfect, so this will go right there. This is very similar to our layered ornament. Same principles are involved. It's just, okay, so now let's see what colors we're going to use for the words here. And then this is the super glue that I've picked up, CYA Fixed Instant Adhesive. I have seen some commercials where you can apply a sticker back to your plywood. So I think maybe I'll try that in the future, see if that actually does what it needs to do. I like the idea of it not bleeding, because sometimes when I do glue this, the super glue tends to bleed out. But it holds very well, and I've never had any issues really, besides that. So now what we need to do is line this up, because this is like a one and done, so you don't get time to shift it around and make a change. Okay guys, so that is how you design, cut, color, and glue up this cute little St. Patrick's Day sign. You do have to get rolling on your St. Patrick's Day designs and cuts and things like that, because before you know it, the holiday's going to be here and you're going to be drinking green beer. So I've got this design. I've got a couple other designs thought up for St. Patrick's Day, maybe some door or 90-degree bends that I've seen hanging on doors. If you have any ideas of St. Patrick's Day designs that you'd like to see, leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear your suggestions. Like I said, I will offer this design for free only toward the end of the week. So by the end of this week, Friday, this design will become a paid design. So keep that in mind. So if you're watching, you want to make sure that you subscribe and you hit the little bell icon so you know when the new videos drop that you can go and get those designs for free before they turn into paid designs. Or if you are a member of the channel, these designs will be free for the entire month of March. So there will be no rush. You'll get an alert from the community tab for members only of the coupon code that you can use for this and other files off the website for free. So I appreciate you tuning in. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up. And until next time, my name is Steve. This is WilmerWoodWorks. Keep crafting.